I have a serious message for you, because this came to me this morning. Like, for 2025, I was thinking of the things like that I want in my life, and the things that I want to do, and where I want to be, and, who I want to be around. What kind of friends do I want? What kind of, future husband do I want? What kind of life do I want? And then something hit me. And this is for the men and for the women. So if you're a man, you're watching this, I'm talking to you too. You're a woman, you're watching this, I'm talking to you. All my life, I thought I was like aggressive. Like I was like aggressive, or I was like manly, and, I felt like I always had to like do everything and all of that stuff. And I realized something. It wasn't that I was aggressive and that I was like controlling. It was that the people that were around me were incapable of doing any of the things that I can do. They were unreliable, and they were not people that I could look up to, in a sense, and be like, wow, the men weren't in their masculine era. They were more in their feminine era, which is okay, fine. And the same thing goes for the men. You dated women that were, maybe you let them walk all over you, or whatever it is. So reverse the roles is what I'm saying to you. So if you've been a man who's always, been like, okay, yes, ma'am, whatever you want, and a woman treated you badly, is because we allowed that, right? We kind of invited that into our lives. And for 2025, for the rest of your life, women, men, I want you to understand something. It's not about it's not about blaming them and casting, because he who blames others is far away. He who blames himself is halfway there. He who blames no one has arrived. We don't blame no one. But what we will say is all those times we've judged ourselves and thought it was us, and we're the problem, and I'm too aggressive, and I was too assertive, and I should have kept my mouth shut at this time, and maybe I could have kept that person if I just did this. Or no, it wasn't about any of that. It was about, we just weren't matched with the person who can handle us the way we are. They couldn't handle our personality, our energy. They couldn't one up us, like, and not in competition either. Like, they couldn't one up us, not in competition, like, oh, I'm better than you, but like more like I'm getting hit in the head so hard as I'm saying this, because this is spirit saying, like, a lot of you need to hear this, because you were blaming yourself, or saying, like, people made you feel like maybe you dated a narcissist and they made you feel like you were the crazy person, and you're too loud, or you're too crazy, or you don't know how to act in public, or whatever it is. Meanwhile, but that's your personality. You've always had respect in public. You've always had respect for people. You're just lively, or you just, you say what you feel. Like, if you go to a nail salon, or you're a guy and you get a haircut and you're like, bro, I don't like this haircut. Like, you're going to say it at that moment, instead of going home and holding resentments, as opposed to others who will, bitch, shut up, babe. Don't say nothing. Just leave it alone. No, I'm not going to leave it alone. I'm paying for this service. I want this service done correctly. Like, as long as you don't come out. I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying to you. Don't hold resentments, because a lot of people out here, they're holding resentments, and they come home and they let those resentments out on their partners. Oh, I went to the nail salon, this bitch. No, you should have said something to that woman at the nail salon. Why are you coming home with your bullshit to me? Because you don't know how to speak your mind. And that's the thing. And you know how to speak your mind. And so you've been blamed, you've been pushed and made to be the bad guy, because you said how you feel, because you, first of all, had standards. And you're now in this year, my point of this message is, I repeat, do not think there's anything wrong with you and that you're just crazy. I'm not talking about if you're like picky and like, well, I don't like the way his pinky finger goes to the left like that, or whatever. That's a different story. I'm talking about, you have standards. If you're a woman, you want a masculine man. You want a masculine in your life. You want somebody to make you feel like a woman. And if they don't make you feel like a woman, because guess what, baby? I could be the most aggressive, assertive woman on earth. When I get around a masculine man, I'm like, yes, sir. That's just the way it goes. And the same thing goes with a man. Don't blame women for acting like men. Maybe you have to act more like a man. You know what I'm saying to you? Or vice versa, like I said. Vice versa. Don't blame the men for being too feminine. They're just not for you. Some women like feminine men. Yeah, listen, I'm going to tell you guys this. I know this is weird, but I've been watching Wife Swap a lot. It's just one of the things, when you're driving, you listen to something in the background. I watch Wife Swap. I think it's funny, and I think it's interesting because they switch roles, and then they switch roles again. And I've noticed so many women out here treating their husbands like gophers. Like, he has to vacuum, wash dishes, clean, which I don't mind. I mean, you help out around the house is a different story. But then when I see it's the women and the roles are like, all the woman's doing everything and the man's going to work and all that, but then they're both holding resentments. So for me, this is going to be about balance. You know what I'm saying to you? It's got to be about balance, because we've been looking at one thing, like we've been so one track minded, and now find that balance with whoever you're going to be with this year, because some of you are meeting someone this year. Do yourself a favor. Don't settle, first of all. Second of all, you want something, go out and get that something, but don't blame others when they can't give it to you. You just have to look for someone who can. Sometimes people got to be alone for a long time to know what they truly want. And that's one of the biggest things. Like if I go to date someone and I ask him, you know, how long have you been single? And he's like 6 months. I'm not going to be with that person. Why? Because I took 4 years of my life to heal whatever was going on with me, the trauma, the anger, the resentments, the childhood stuff. I took 4 years of my life to heal, and I'm talking single, not dating, not seeing people, not hanging out in these streets, nothing. I'm talking 4 years of straight up healing. I'm not saying they got to have 4 years under their belt like me, but at least have a year or two. You know what I'm saying to you? So you want to date somebody this year, you want to meet somebody, I'm going to say this to you. When those red flags come up to you and you don't adhere to them, you're just going to repeat the same cycle. Like, we have to know that, you know, sometimes the test comes in before the real lover, you know what I'm saying? So when that test comes in, your stomach is going to bother you. When this person's around you, you're going to feel insecure about it. You're going to ask, but why, but there's no, I like them, but I like her, but sometimes she kind of like, you know, asks me for money. Like, it's a little annoying. Or I like him, but sometimes he kind of like gets angry and talks to me. No. You want a communicator? You want a healthy relationship? Yo, I look at these couples sometimes and I'm like, because I remember my relationships in my past were always like, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? That's how we talk to each other when we're angry. I look at some of these couples and these relationships on, you know, on TV and all that stuff. Mind you, on TV, they're acting like they're better because they don't want to look a fool on national television, but you can tell they know how to communicate calmly. Like, some people really communicate like, yes, but when you do this, it bothers me. And then he's like, you're right, I do jump the gun. Like, it's like, and I'm looking at it like, the old me want to be like, just tell him to shut, you know what I'm saying? Tell him he's a piece of shit, you know. But this is why I took time to heal, because in this era, you have to be ready to communicate like an adult. You can't, if you're on that childish bullshit, jealousy, crazy shit that we used to be on when we were kids growing up. I get it. We didn't know what the hell we were doing. We thought it was cute to argue with someone. I don't think it's cute to argue with people today. If you can't sit down like a grown adult and have a conversation with me, I'm not going to accept that into my life. And that is the message of the day. So many of you are going to be meeting your soul man, your soul woman, your tribe, your healer, your friends, and all that. Communication. Tell people how you feel. That's what I do. Hey, you know, I really don't like that. You know, I invite you places and then you don't. So I think that from now on, I'm just going to do my own thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's it. See what the response is. If they're like, oh my God, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, then okay, you give people a chance. And you tell a person, I don't like this, and they keep doing it, that person's not for you. You're not going to fix them. You're not going to change them. I know you're a healer. I know. And you do attract people with dark energy, man. You do. So you got to watch who you allow into your aura. Sexual energy is real. Keep that shit tight until the right man or woman comes along, man or female. Don't be masturbating every day. You can do it. You can do it. Give yourself a year or two. Go on and heal, because the person that's meant for you is waiting for you healing on the other side. You want to attract who you are? Be the person you want to attract. That's all I got to say. I love you guys. And remember, take the advice from Spirit, because this year a lot of you are going to be meeting people. Just remember the red flags and remember the gut intuition and the feelings that you get, because they never lie. I love you.